Hey guys, it's the History Nerd back with another exciting episode of Crusader Kings 2, Habsburg, Millennium. Now where we last left off, we had, what was it? We gained Schweiz? Yeah, we gained Schweiz. And then what I did was I went back and I decided to start recording this episode. I got about 20 minutes in and then the game crashed, which is a rarity for CK2 for me. It's not... I wouldn't put it as a quote-unquote crasher, so a little bit of a surprise, but that's okay. Allows us to do things, you know? And I'm aware of some things that I should be keeping my eye open on, specifically my military technology. And I do want to talk about one thing, and that is the text spread. Now, I don't really understand the speed at which text spreads, but I do know that each province has a different tech level. So if we take a look at Argyll right now, we can see 14 military advances, 18 economic and culture advances. If we take a look at Burgundy here, we've got 12 military advances in 18 and 18. So that means that the troops we raise in Argyll, depending on what they are going to be better than the troops we raise in Burgundy. So, and that tech spreads, and then, you know, tech level and what century you're in and all sorts of things can adjust the rate at which it spreads. But basically, when you research, like, so we're going to go take a look here. And basically, all of our military units here could use a bit of a boost. You can kind of notice that some of these places have just like a hint of blue in them, which means, you know, they're less advanced than what's white. So the first thing we're going to do is boost up our cavalry because, you know, we're a Central European, namely Germanic nation with jousting lists, so we want the strongest cavalry we can get. And that's exactly what we're going to wind up doing. Now, we are fabricating, or do we already have a claim? I think we already have a claim on Valais, don't we? Yes, we do. However, the crown laws of the Empire, medium crown authority here, prohibit us from going to war with vassals within the Empire. This is good. This was something that I was hoping would happen a little bit later. I wasn't really hoping that the Holy Roman Empire would have medium crown authority this early on. So what this basically means is, if someone, say, you know, the anti-pope here, who is a vassal of the emperor, if someone is a vassal of the emperor, we can't go to war with them because we are a vassal of the emperor. So there is no internal fighting right now, which is crappy. Okay, Normandy. Because we can't get Valais, and we won't be able to go for the Duchy of Dauphine yet. It's going to kind of adjust the way we approach going for the Duchy of Savoy. Fate smiles upon me. My wife Ida is pregnant. That is good. Lover's pox. Okay, well, she's in love with me, but she also has the lover's pox, so I don't know. Maybe she picked that up somewhere along the way. I'm not going to question it. You know, we all make mistakes. As long as this kid winds up being mine. From a gameplay perspective, you know, i.e. I can claim the kid as mine. What else? Beatrix will be coming of age soon, and she is turning out to be quite the little child. I'm excited for the chance of her ruling, but of course, if we take a look at one of our vassals, let's say, Theodoric. Now, he loves us. Obviously, we gave him his land and his life, basically. This is the hunting friend of my father. But you can see here the two negatives: short reign, because I just took the throne, and that will go down over time, and female heir. So, you know, our vassals don't like the fact that Beatrix is next in line for the throne. We're going to have to hope that we get ourselves a son. And, you know, since my wife is pregnant, there is a good chance that that will happen. Looks like my young sister here needs a bit of an education, so let's go see if we can get Heinricha here educated. Those I don't like. I would prefer something like even this. Yeah. Oh, no more Dutch. No more Dutch. So we'll go with no French either, come to think of it. I guess we'll go with Ludwig here. Why not? You. There we go. And let's just have time tick by. I guess there really isn't much going on. I don't necessarily need to record this. There isn't much going on, I say, as, Oh, are you kidding me? Alright, well, I mean, you became... Oh no, this is a different daughter who has become content. Okay. Let's see. Educate child... Ingletrude? Is that her? No. No. There we go. Annalise. To... let's go with... You're Italian. You're Dutch. Alright. German it is. Don't die. To the level-headed wit Otto. That doesn't seem like much of a compliment. Now, why in the world is Schweiss here going to Annalise? Oh my god, another daughter? Okay, why is Schweiss going to Annalise? Okay, yes, I understand now. I don't understand why it was just Schweiss going. But, so we can see here, I've got 3 daughters, which with Gavelkin means, with no sons, each one is in line for succession. Obviously, Beatrix here, being the eldest, she is going to become the Duchess. And then Schweiss here is going to go to Annalise. And Burgundy here is going to go to Rishenza. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to have a son. I realize I'm not in control of that. So, you know, we got Ottoson, who, let's be honest, wasn't looking like a great kid anyway. But hopefully we can just get a son going. My wife is, well, I love her dearly. She is getting a little on in years. I don't know how likely it is I'm going to get a son out of her. And I'm going to just cancel the ambition to become a marshal and see if I can't try to have a son again. Because we really need it. What else do I want to do? Let's get my Chancellor out and into Savoy to try and fabricate a claim on the county or possibly the duchy. Again, I don't know how you go about fabricating claims on duchies, but I think your Chancellor has a chance to fabricate a claim on the duchy if he's in the same province that the duchy is in. And he's got, I think, a slightly lesser of a chance, combined with diplomatic ratings and all that other stuff. So we'll see how that goes. Because if I can just get a claim on the Duchy of Savoy, oh my god, my life will be so much easier. I still won't be able to get Valais, as they're still a vassal of the Emperor. And what we would have to do is, really, what we could try doing is lower the crown authority. Now, if we get found out, the Emperor may not exactly be all that pleased with us, but hopefully, if he finds out and decides that it's a bad thing, he'll ask us to stop, and we're okay doing that. So, we'll see. Now, here's a bit of a trick. So we've got our heir apparent Beatrix von Habsburg, who's right now our heir. And what an heir. A gregarious, kind, brave, charitable, diligent, skilled tactician. That doesn't really help us. But all of these traits are great. She has the potential to be a great ruler. The issue is alliance versus matrilineal marriage. So the way the game works is you're playing the family. So in this case, we're the von Habsburgs, hence the Habsburg Millennium name. What we want to do is make sure whatever person is currently ruling, whoever we're in control of, is a Habsburg. You need to do that. Otherwise the game ends. So we need Beatrix to have a Habsburg kid. Now she's female. So you need to get a marriage that will allow the children of the marriage to be Habsburgs and not whatever name the father of the children are. This gets to be an issue because you're not going to get a good marriage in a matrilineal marriage. You're not going to get a good alliance in it because the person is going to be giving up their name. So if we were to take a look, we could say arrange a marriage with Halkiel, Duke of Nidaros, or Guillaume, Duke of Gascon, any of these dukes, for an alliance marriage. And that is really what you want to do with alliances. But, like I say, those children, like if we were to marry Guillaume here, Duke of Gascon, all of the children from Beatrix and Guillaume will be a de Poitou, and we wouldn't, when that kid took over, that would be it for the game. So what we need to do is click off the matrilineal marriage. So it says here, any children born of the union will be of the mother's dynasty rather than the father's. What this means, though, is that chances of getting an alliance are lessened. Now, we still can get them. So we can see here, we can get an alliance with the Kaiser. We could get an alliance with King Nude. We could get an alliance with King Stenkill. We can still get alliances. It's, it's just you're kind of not really getting the cream of the crop when it comes to potential husbands. As we can see, but I'm actually impressed with the amount of alliances we can get. And why wouldn't we go for an alliance with the Kaiser? Although, let's just take a look geopolitically for a second here. So the Duke of Denmark is obviously nowhere near in strength. Or the King of Denmark, my word, is nowhere near in strength, hell, even to us, let alone anybody who might be an issue for us. So I think going with the Kaiser would be best. I just want to take a look at this kid here and try and figure out why Gebhard, his heir, why he'd be okay with Gebhard getting... What lands do you own? See, because this is where it gets kind of interesting. He's gonna have a lot of land when his dear old daddy dies. And then his children will inherit that, and his children will be Habsburgs. So we could get a lot more land. Now, obviously, that's not the Kingdom of Burgundy, and I want to keep the Kingdom of Burgundy as mine, but I'm not necessarily against the idea of getting some other lands. They don't have to be, quote-unquote, Habsburgian lands or core Habsburg lands. They could just be other Habsburg. Okay, let's do it. Matrilineal marriage to Gebhard. Whoops. It is matrilineal, right? So propose that Beatrix and Gebhard to get betrothed matrilineally, as the relative of a Duke. Beatrix would gain 25 prestige and 25 prestige for marrying into House von Zaranen, and 200 for marrying the relative of a Kaiser. 225 prestige when this marriage goes through for good old Beatrix. Okay, yeah. So when that goes through, then what'll make family dinners awkward is if this gets discovered, obviously. You know, sitting down, the fathers-in-law of both the kids, they're just hoping for a friendly family dinner. That's all they care about. And you know, the argument, after dinner argument, always leads to the crown authority issue in relation specifically to Valais. But of course, the Kaiser would care about keeping his anti-pope, you know, ruling the stuff. Ruling the stuff. And, you know, obviously we care about getting land that we perceive to be ours. It definitely looks like the Italian sections of the empire are in revolt. Yeah, you see, so here this is what I was talking about. My dear Duke, permit me to remind you of your obligations and duties as my sworn vassal. To form a conspiratorial faction would be in direct violation of these, and I must ask for your promise never to do so. True, my lord. Founding such a faction wouldn't be very nice of me. So at least he's pleased with us, because we're like, okay, yeah, you're right. Well, we want the county of Valais. County! I just remember, these aren't provinces, these are counties. Alright, so at least, you know, family dinners aren't going to be that tense. And speaking of family dinners, we should be able to hold a feast soon. So November 1st, Otto here will hold his first ducal dinner. Come on. Why can't I? Has a prestige of at least 100. I'm sorry, Otto. You'll get a dinner next year. We need to educate Heike. So, I mean, you know, might as well do that. Yeah, we'll go with the Emperor again. Just to keep things going well, and why not? We'll go to Adelhard, the Prince Bishopric. Hold the phone. No, I want to make sure he's German. Okay, let's just get out of there. Try this again. Oh my god, the interface. Educate child. I can't move that? Okay, fine. I don't see the same guy that I saw. Probably because I'm not going to the right place. Okay, Heike. Like I don't know you. Who are you? I don't know. That's not good. We'll just... Adelhard, Prince... Okay, yeah, so you're a lunatic, but you're German, so... At least you're a precise lunatic? I don't know. Not really much we can do there. A small spear throwing competition could be entertaining. It's always a great way to enliven your battle technique. Maybe you should arrange a contest. That sounds like a glorious idea. You gladly accept. Wonderful. After dozens of spears have been hurled through the air, a sole victor emerges. No one managed to throw farther than you. Yay! With 200 or with 100 prestige, we'll hold a feast. You got your party after all, Otto. Violence seems to be able to solve all of your problems. Life is easier when you simply smash things into submission. I'm not gonna lie, I can understand why he's of that opinion with an army of 6,000 men. If we check our liege, looky-loos, we're still, you know, cock of the walk when it comes to vassals and power. The best part about preparing a feast is deciding what foodstuffs to serve. I must purchase venison, boar, and duck, spices, wine, and ale, honey for desserts, cheese, and perhaps even a swan or a peacock. Spend enough on food to satisfy everyone's hunger. I don't want to satisfy people's hunger. A rather heated discussion between myself and the stable master caught Candido's attention, and after listening to both of us, he settled the matter between me and the stable master in a fair way. I got the horse, and the stable master got that coin. Was I trying to negotiate a free horse? That's what it seems like to me. Otto was just like, look, buddy, I'm the Duke. You should just give me a free horse. And unfortunately, it's like someone in court to come along and be like, listen, Otto, you can't just take things. The guests have finally arrived. All is ready. The cooks have worked day and night preparing the food, and the castle has never looked lovelier. Welcome to my feast, my vassals. Eat, drink, and be merry. I started talking to one of my guests at the feast and found them most interesting. Hours flew by, wine bottles were emptied, and other guests excused themselves and went to bed. But we kept talking until the wee hours. I haven't ever met a more fascinating person than Mayor Baldemar of Schaffhausen. Baldemar. That is a name. Sir, I like your name. Award and honorary title. You can be my master of the horse. That sounds lovely. Whoa, that's us being German. What else have we got? Actually, I want to go here to my court chaplain. We should award the honorary title of High Almoner to him. And, I guess, really, we don't have many who could, you know, become my regent, but I'm going to give it to Beatrix because that's going to be her thing. That's going to be her job. The last of the guests have returned home, and everyone agreed it was the year's greatest feast. Now, there is something that I would like to do, I think, and that is give Beatrix some land. Now, again, it's difficult, because, well, Duchess Ida here is very unlikely to give me any more children. There's always a chance, right? And there's always a chance for a bastard. But I want my heir, first off, to not leave my court when she gets married to Gebhard here. So, what would I give her? I guess I would probably give her Schweiss. I invited people in my court to take part in a war game in which we practice defending our land from invading enemies. We will use wooden models to represent invading armies, and I shall have to use clever tactics to defeat my opponents. This will be fun. As we assign the task for the wargame, we decide that Rudolf will defend while Theodoric will be leading the invading forces. Theodoric, you'll remember, is my father's hunting friend who we picked up and is quite the military leader. At the beginning of the wargame, your enemy decides to do a strong frontal assault towards your center flank. Use all means to reinforce and strengthen the center. I think what we'll do is slowly withdraw the forces from the center. While your troops withdraw from the center flank, Theodoric decides to push the center flank hard. Rudolf suggests that we keep the formation. Rudolf, my amazing military brilliant strategist, wants to turn this into a center flank slugfest. Bring all the reserves to the center. Retreat the side flanks to keep the line. Fold the side flanks to surround the enemy. That's what I'm going to do. I may have upset someone, but that's fine. When the opposing forces foolishly advance, we easily surround them, gaining the upper hand as they are unable to break free. It is a decisive victory for the defending team. Lovely, we got some free prestige, and we got another martial skill. So that's good news. Not sure what else to say about that. So getting into the talks of, you know, male and female succession, there is something that I could do that I'm specifically not doing because it's not in the character of Otto, and that is switching my focus to seduction and then seducing people. I've got no issue at all using seduction focus to make sure you're making babies, but there's a reason why I'm not, and again, it's all role play. The friend of a friend is my friend, a motto I try to live by, and sometimes that is an easy truth. A friend of a friend was introduced, and I immediately felt a kind of connection with this stranger, so I hope we'll be friends. Or Gregarious, but we already have the trait, so let's just see if we pick up some friends. And we did! Nicholas of Engelberg! Yeah, so it's purely a roleplay reason that I'm not having Duke Otto running around seducing everyone in court. We had a few disagreements and a few arguments, but once we arrived on common, safe ground, we were getting along famously. So if we take a look, he's a temperate, charitable, kind, gregarious, cynical, wrathful man. Nothing there says that he is going to run off and go cheating on his wife. His intrigue skill is a level 2, and we can see that seduction is an intrigue thing, so it just doesn't make sense for Otto to be the promiscuous sort. Now, of course, this is, like I say, this is getting to a bit of an issue here, because my wife is very much... I'm not sure what the childhood bearing cutoff age is, but she's got to be getting close. And, you know, if there's an event that pops up that I can maybe make fit into the character of Otto, then, yeah, we might have a bastard kid, but he's not the type to do that, so that's why I'm not running off doing it. This is what I mean by role play, right? Like, I try and keep the actions of the character in a semblance of basis of reality for the character and their traits. So that's why. I stumbled into a courtier eating cookies outside the kitchen. The courtier apologized several times, then offered me a cookie as an apology for being in my path, and the cynic in me got the best of me. I lost myself in cynical comments about how the courtier was trying to poison me with baked goods, probably spoken out loud. I'm sorry, Arnual, but that cookie looked suspicious. Mayor Arnold wants me to stop being cynical. That is a promise I will not be able to hold, but I won't disturb him anymore. That's good. I like that. He's like, look, I know my nature. It's not changing. I'll just stop talking to you. I guess we should probably look at our other holdings here and see what we can improve, specifically in spice here. No, that's looking pretty damn good. So what am I saving up for? Probably the training grounds, to be honest, to get morale of armies, levy reinforcement rates, and a retinue increase. And that's something we haven't really talked about, is the retinues or retainers. Mainly because with the way the system works now, basically when these things were introduced in Legacy of Rome, this is a way for you to build a standing army. So as you can see, every time we go to war, we've got to raise our vassal levies. Retinues allow you to have a standing army that's yours and will always be yours. And so with the way the Legacy of Rome worked, it was kind of easy to build up a mega stack of the like heavy cavalry, for instance. So they've changed it. So we can see here, we've got a total retinue size of 693. If we wanted to build a knight retinue, we need a retinue cap of 1,200. So we need to basically double our retinue cap to get 150 heavy cavalry and 100 light cavalry. So it kind of shifted from having a standing army to being a supplement to your standing army. And in that case, I think it makes absolute sense to just focus on one unit type. And if you're going to focus on one unit type, why not knights? You could also substitute in some cavalry if you want to get some light cavalry in there as well, but knights are always the way to go. The abbot of a nearby monastery has asked that you make a donation towards the repairs of the monastery church. God will know that this cynical man supports the church. Yeah. We got time, and I don't think... No, we don't owe the Jews any money. So, yeah, basically, we're ticking time away. Which probably makes this episode slightly less exciting. Really, it's the damn crown laws in the Empire preventing us from being able to successfully expand. Or at least pick off the easy ones. We're working on Savoy. My chancellor is having issues apparently fabricating a claim, but that's okay. My word, my marshal. Oh, I'm glad my father found you in the woods, sir. You have been a great addition. You realize that to become a great fighter, you would need to get in better shape. There's a path in the nearby woods that would be excellent for running. Well, let's go run. And I've got to say, having this war focus in a situation where I'm really not able to do much when it comes to war is kind of a little bit of a letdown. So, what do we want to focus on? A family focus probably would have been a good pick, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago. Maybe not 15. 10 years ago for sure. Just to try and get your fertility up, your diplomacy up, and start getting children. But I think what I'm going to do is go for the scholarship focus. No, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense at all. This guy he's kind of an idiot. So, really, it's between diplomacy and martial. And I think what I'll do is just go for... I think I'll just go for family, if I'm honest. We'll just do that. Having spent countless hours swinging your sword, it is clear that your technique is getting better. So we got a boost to martial skill, which is nice. We're a great warrior now, which is awesome. And now that we've, let the world know we're a great warrior, it's time to just focus in on the family. Prince Gebhard will be getting older. He'll be getting to the right age soon. And I just want to make sure, like, it's another tricky thing here. Even though the marriage between Gebhard and Beatrix is matrilineal, if I give Beatrix land, I don't actually get to confirm the marriage between the two of them because she's landed, she's in charge of her own life. Sometimes when you've arranged a matrilineal marriage, the AI will be tricky. And when it pops up and it's like, hey, remember this betrothal we had set? Well, both people are of age. Let's get married. They'll send it for a normal marriage. And I'm afraid that if I give Beatrix land, the AI will do that. And then, there goes the best laid plans to keep freaking Burgundy, Habsburg. It's you gotta make sure that doesn't slip away. All right, let's build up the training ground. Basically, I'm doing that Oh, this is exciting. My wife, she's pregnant and she's old enough. If this is a son, there's a very good chance that, we won't have another. I mean, it's been tough enough. Oh, excuse me as I stretch. It's been tough enough. Get out of here. 200 freaking Danes and Papists coming along trying to siege down Argyle. Get out of here. Oh dear. What do the French want? French Holy Roman Anti-Papal War. So I would imagine that this is to depose the anti-pope. And so it's going to be France versus the Empire. Make sure they're severely punished. Which means we've got the 11,000 men, roughly, of the French against the 13,000 of the Empire. But of course, the Empire is also at war with Denmark. And a whole host of other people. So, what war is this for anyway? Danish Holy Roman Anti-Papal War. So the Danes and allies, and now the French, are very upset with the Empire for having the fake Pope. And what I'm incredibly concerned about, New Realm, is the French coming through my land and ruining my land. I don't want to lose. Go for Geneva. Go for my vassals, please. But don't come for me. I like my land. Oops. Let's go back to that view. And let's hope you pop out a son. That's... because that'll solve the succession. Not that it's a crisis. because Beatrix would have more than enough power. I mean, first off, she doesn't have to worry about Ermengarde! I just wanted a son. We don't have to worry about these lands slipping away because Beatrix is going to be a duke. Those are counts. They will be vassals of my duchess ruler. We're at war with England too? England's getting in on the Papal War. Kaiser, just let it go. Just give up on the dream of having your own pope. It's not gonna happen, buddy. Think of the empire, man. Think of it. I wish there was a way to, like, you know, sit down and have this discussion. It looks like we got a peasant revolt going on as well. Because, I mean, obviously, I love the emperor, and he is incredibly indifferent to me. So maybe the conversation would go exactly as it would. Okay, so we got a claim on the County of Savoy. Let's use it. And let's also Duke of Salerno, Count of Broerick, or whatever. Well, we could call in Otto if we do go to war for Savoy, but considering that there are 10,000 French troops who are opposed to me, I'm not going to press this war just yet. And I will actually bring you home to improve relations with the Kaiser. I'm not going to press the war yet because the first what I would do is I'd raise up my 6,000 troops, go marching into Savoy, and then have 10,000 Frenchmen come and smash them for being in a completely unrelated war. But perfectly understandable because we are very much not friendly right now. Anyway, this episode seems to be going along at a fairly decent pace as well. Almost at the 40-minute mark, so with not much else going on and us not really in a position to be able to push on Savoy, I think I'll just leave the episode. Commander. I am a fairly good commander. I can see why you would want me to be that. But that's a risk. We'll accept it. We'll accept it. Yeah, I think I'm just going to leave the episode here for now. So, Habsburg, there we go. So yeah, thumbs up if you have enjoyed this episode. Leave your comments, questions, concerns, thoughts, jokes, musings, what have you below. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.